live from Japan. It is July 21st. This is Stark Raving Totals. As you can tell, I'm in a different part of the house I'm staying at while I'm traveling around in Japan, staying with the in-laws and stuff like that. So a little bit of a different background today. Actually, tomorrow we'll be back at my home, which will be nice. So I'm flying out today, but we got a segment to do here. I think that's it. This is where we talk about totals in sports across the board. It's been kind of a bumpy week, been up and down. You guys come in, you give great comments, and we go ahead and we talk about sports on the day. A lot of baseball games going on. I got one pick in Major League Baseball and a lean in the WNBA. I just cannot give you a solid pick right now. So last time we were 1-1 in WNBA, and we did lose our Major League Baseball play. So it's been kind of just up and down. But let's see if we can get a unit today. SBRpicks.com, Sportsbook review. I'm just waking up, guys. You got to hang with me. YouTube channel, that's this right here. Check it out. And of course, we have Facebook. Don't forget to check that out also, because there's a lot of good links on there. Okay, so Stark Raving Totals. We'll be back tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll have a announcement how this is going to go forward in the future. There might be some changes coming along, so you guys tune in, and I'll let you know about that. And I think that's about it. Let's talk. Let me make sure I'm coming in here okay. I believe I'm coming in all right. So let's get to some picks here. This will probably be a pretty short segment. So yeah, the WNBA bugs me today. Yesterday, check this out. I'm telling you guys, WNBA plus money line value. That's what you're looking for. If you'd have took all the plus money line dogs yesterday, you would have won in WNBA. If you'd have parlayed 3 of them, I mean, it was, I don't know, what was like 50-1, probably something like that, or 40-1. I mean, your return would have been awesome. Indiana beating LA in LA as a 14-point dog. I'm telling you, man, WNBA plus money line value. Chicago was a +7. It's crazy. Okay, let's talk. So we got some Major League Baseball already going off. Major League Baseball has been starting to pick up for me, even though we did lose our last game with the Cubs Cardinals. We had the under. They went nuts. And about the middle of the game, check this game out. Okay, this is the game I got today, and it bugs me a lot. So we got Miami versus Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay is doing that weird thing where they're starting, one of their relievers basically in Stanek. He's got really good numbers on the year, like ERA hovering around 2. So Lopez gets like his 4th major league start for Miami. His numbers are terrible. Well, I mean, not horrible. His ERA is bad, 6.35 ERA, but his whip's not horrible, 1.35. That's not bad at all. He's gotten lit up despite the low whip. I mean, he's given up 10 earned runs his last 11 innings off of 11 hits. So he's been less than stellar. Tampa Bay, I don't know what's going to, pitching wise, they'll throw the kitchen sink. I mean, last time Stanek started versus Minnesota, they threw everybody, like an inning. It was crazy. So it's kind of hard to gauge about, the consistency of what you're going to get from Tampa Bay's pitching staff. But what we can do, and what I'm going to do, is just go off the number. So odds makers came out with this total here at 8. Higher juice on the over, excuse me, with Lopez versus Stanek, and it's dropped. But the public's on the over. Public's about 54% on the over, but it's dropped down to 7.5. So it's a little bit of a steam move. And I'm going under. This is just a line play to me. That's it. Just a line play. It really, really bugs me, the fact that this line's dropped with a guy with an ERA over 6 in Tampa Bay. And I mean, they scored 11 runs yesterday. Granted, Tampa Bay scored 4 of them in the 9th, but they got 16 hits. And another thing that bugs me about this one is, if you look at these teams statistically, I mean, just look at their last 3 games. They're hitting. Miami's hitting 270 their last 3 games. Tampa Bay, 350. I mean, they've been hitting the ball, man. As well on the season, they haven't been terrible. Miami's hitting about 250 on the road. Tampa Bay's hitting 260 at home. So both teams have been hitting the ball decently well on the season. I mean, they've been hitting the ball well enough to where when a line drops, it just really looks weird, man. It just looks off. And it's the only one today I can see that really looks off. I thought the other numbers were pretty solid. I kind of very interested in the fact that Kershaw and Anderson are getting an 8. When's the last time Kershaw was on the mound and he had a number at 8? Maybe when he pitched in Colorado. That's kind of bananas. So that one bugged me as well, just a little bit. But I digress. I want to get back to the pick today. So when we look at Miami and Tampa Bay, for me, you got two teams that have been hitting the ball well on the season. Numbers are not horrible. Guy comes in with an ERA over 6 versus a reliever and probably the whole staff of Tampa Bay. They scored 16 hits, 11 runs yesterday, and the lines dropped. And there was higher juice on the over, and the lines dropped from 8 to 7.5. I'm taking the under. That's my one pick today. I'm taking the under just because it bugs me. As always, just like I mentioned last time, could it go over? Yeah. I mean, it could because it's baseball, because it's a sporting contest. You just never know, man. I've had a rough couple days. Yesterday, personally, I took WNBA. I had a bad day in Japanese baseball too. WNBA, I took Connecticut at home minus the 2. I thought they were going to beat Seattle, and see, I didn't take plus money line. That's what I get for not doing it. And Seattle has been playing great, but I thought Connecticut, the line again, I thought the line was a little bit weird on that one, but we lost, or I lost. I think that's it. Later on, you got Bumgarner versus Cahill. I was looking at that one for a little bit. That line's dropped too from 8 to 7.5. But for me today, that's going to be my one play in Major League Baseball. Miami, Tampa Bay under the 7.5. Okay. Also, it's an American League Park, and the line's dropped, and the public's on the over. Weird. Agree? Or you can disagree. Okay, so WNBA, I don't know. I think the line is just about perfect. Right now, it came out at 160, has not moved. Public's a little bit on the under. I would lean towards the under. I mean, they've played twice this season. Their first game, 95-85, went way over. Quite a few. The attempts were okay, but they both shot at a really good rate, like close to 50%. Their last matchup, we're talking about Phoenix and Minnesota now, two of the premier name teams in the WNBA. The last time they played to a lower scoring affair in which Minnesota won. Where's that at? I clicked off it, but Minnesota won. They ended up at 155. So, okay. In that game, neither team shot particularly well. What gets me today, though, is just statistically speaking, you're talking about at home, a Phoenix team that shoots just 43.6%, and they're averaging 83 points per game. That's not great. But more importantly, if I could talk, is Phoenix is allowing opponents at home to shoot 41.5%. They're a good defensive team. They're allowing 81 points per game at home. That's not great, but the percentage I like. They allow quite a bit of tempo, but they face some fast tempo teams, so that's not necessarily their fault. Minnesota, check this out. On the road, they're the best defensive team in the WNBA, allowing opponents just 76 points per game, 76.6 points per game. That's number 1 in the WNBA on the road. And but they shoot decently well on the road as well. They shoot at a 44% clip, but they're only averaging 78 points per game on the road. These aren't two really just like super up-tempo teams, but they're talented, so they can score. So the 160 seems just as like oddsmakers just set it right in the middle. It's kind of like, I don't know, what would be a normal NBA game, like 203 or something like that. They middled it as much as you could, because I think it's a really hard game to predict. So for me, I would lean on the under, but honestly, it's probably a layoff. I think the number's pretty solid. So for me, it's probably just going to be the one game with Tampa Bay and Miami under the 7.5 in Major League Baseball. That's it. All right. So like I said, pretty quick segment. And what do you guys got for me? All right. Steven, Allah, what's up? Semajay, hello. Al Hard, hey, my guy. You a hard man to catch. Yeah, sometimes. Well, because I live in Japan. Semajay, Bumgarner is an underdog versus Trevor Cahill. Well, because Oakland's been playing some good baseball last couple weeks. That's why. Yeah, that line is weird. And Steven, Fever and Sky both winning was insane. I know, man. I'm telling you, plus money line value in the WNBA. If you can be patient enough, it's the way to go. Al, we got the Lynx plus 2.5. Phoenix is pretty tough at home, man. I don't know about that one. That could go either way. Steven, easy call today with fading the Liberty. Yeah, they're pretty bad. They're pretty bad. What else we got? Sema J, line drop because some players out. Tampa Bay. I didn't see anybody out. Let me double check that. That's yeah. Well, I don't think anyone's out. Anyone of significance, but we can check it real quick. Got to get up that injury report. I honestly didn't check it. I just looked at the line movement. So I'm being a lazy handicapper today. Let's see. So we got. Let me get down here. I mean, Marlins, they're not really that good, anyways. Now, nobody of significance. I'm checking the injury report right now in Major League Baseball. Just to let you guys know. I don't see it, man. No, I don't see anybody out that. No, I don't see anybody out of significance. I might have missed it though. If you guys have something, just go ahead and shout it out. You can tell also I'm speaking a little bit at a lower volume. That's because we're the family's all sleeping in the background behind me, so I don't want to be too loud and wake them up. It's really early in the morning here in Japan, but I get up to do this segment. All right, here we go. Where am I at? Marcus Woods with Cahill on the money line. Bill, Chuckster, good to see you. And a new part of your crib. Yeah, this isn't my crib, actually. I'll be back in my crib tomorrow. Native Queen, Kershaw has had 2 8s and 1 8.5 this year. 1 and 2 on the over and under. Native Queen, good stuff, man. Sema J, what do you think? Yeah, but when I was mentioning that with Kershaw, I'm thinking about his body of work and his career. We don't see that very often with him. But that's good stuff, man. Thank you. Sema J, what do you think on Pitt versus Cincinnati game? The line has dropped. Are you talking about the total or? Let's take a look at that one. Disclafani, yeah. Man, I don't know. I don't know a lot about Kingdom. I think that's why I just glazed over that. So yeah, I have no opinion on that, just to be dead honest. Francisco, what do you think of Cleveland, Texas over? I know totals, Low Shack is on the team total over for Cleveland, okay? First half, team total over for Cleveland, first half over, and game total over. What do you think about the way he bets? Well, Pete and I are very different people. He is awesome. I have nothing despairing. I have nothing of. I have no negative talk for Pete. We play very different. You know, like I've mentioned to you guys before, when I spoke with I can't even talk today. I'm just shutting this down. When I spoke with Teddy Covers about this sort of this realm of handicapping and how people go about their business, he made a great statement to me. He said, you know, some people play, you know, 7-15 plays per day, and some people play 1 to 3 per week. He thought it just depends on the person. You know, there's a way to make money off of in the long run in sports handicapping, but it's got to fit your, you know, your personality or just the way you see things in order to go ahead and make a profit. So that's what Pete does. If that's what gets him into the profits, man, I'm all for that. I don't really play that way. So what do I think about the way he bets? I have no opinion really. It for me, I mean, if in proportion to how I play, that's not how I play at all. But it doesn't mean it's wrong. You know, different strokes. Man, I can't talk. Sema J, thank you for checking. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I couldn't give you better information. Senna, it's very early in Japan. Yes, it is. but I'm here, and I'll be back tomorrow. Don Ricci, Pete takes more second halves than anything else. Yeah, he does. He does do a lot of that. I really don't even play second halves. 7J, you're looking at, yeah, we talked about that, the total. Francisco, who's Japan's biggest Asian ally? It's not Korea, or South Korea, I should say. They kind of have a little rivalry with them. Who's their big? Nobody. I don't know. Hawaii? That's kind of a joke. I don't know. Maybe the Philippines. As far as allies go, I don't know. I don't know the geopolitical scheme about that. Japan's very proletariat in that they're here to help their own people. Okay, it's an island essentially. So they're very much about Japan. They're big. They're big friends, allies with America. I already looked at that. Sorry. Despairing. Thanks, Dom. Hey, listen, it's 5:45 in the morning here, all right? And I've only had 1 cup of coffee, so you have to cut me some slack. Jay, my vernacular is not rolling well this morning. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Pete also likes the team totals over for the Dodgers. Okay, that's good information. Dom, me either, but it works for him. That's all that counts. Yeah, that's all that matters. I mean, you have to do what works for you. For me, I'm like yesterday, I had 1 play. I took Connecticut, I lost, and I had some Japanese baseball also as well that didn't work out for me. So it just depends. And then 7 day coming in with Thailand. Thailand's more of a vacation spot. So a lot of the Asian countries are more of places to go on vacation, like Vietnam, Thailand, like you just mentioned, the Philippines. They're more like places to go for vacation. I probably wouldn't go to the Philippines right now. But as far as their allies, I don't know. Why would you ask that? That's a very interesting question. That was from Francisco. Their biggest ally, I would say, was America. But Asian allies, they don't. Definitely not China. So I don't know, brother. I don't know. We can talk more about that stuff, at a different time. Let's get back to some sports. So for me today, like I said, it's probably be a pretty quick segment. I mean, I looked at the card. I thought there were some interesting matchups. I thought Freeland versus Godley at 8. I don't know about that one. The 9.5 with Boston and Detroit looks tempting because both guys have actually pitched semi-decent this year. Johnson's been great. Fires, he's touch and go. But 9.5, man. Higher juice on the under. Boston's such a good scoring park. I was really looking at that Verlander. Holy cow. Verlander versus Tropiano. God, Angels. Holy cow, they could not hit yesterday. Keuchel was great. No hitter in I think what was the 7th or 8th or something like that. He shoved it. That's at 8. Yeah, numbers are kind of tough. Oh, here's one game that also bugged me as well. The White Sox in Seattle. As far as numbers are concerned, Covey versus Hernandez. I mean, Felix has not been super. He's been okay, but his numbers are not great. He's got an ERA like at 5, and the line's gone from 9 to 8.5. I thought that was interesting. Covey's been terrible. He's got like a 1.6 WHIP or something. Let me double check that. That was another game I was looking at. Sorry, I thought that was another game that was kind of weird. I didn't mention that. But you got. Let's take a look at that real quick before I let you guys go. Yeah, Covey 5.69 ERA, Felix 5.13 ERA. He does pitch better at home, but his WHIP is still like 1.4 at home. Yeah, Covey 1.64 ERA WHIP. And the line's dropped. Now, the juice now is being pushed a little bit on the over at 8.5. That's weird. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that one. That goes off later. Okay. Anything else before we get out of here? Gary, how's it going? It's going okay. How you doing, Gary? Bill, Chuckster, do you wake up this early without an alarm? Oh, no, I got to have my alarm. I get up really, really early. And I'm actually going to talk more about that next week, as there could be some changes in store. Well, there's going to be some changes in store, but I'll keep you guys abreast of that next weekend. Okay. as I've mentioned before, I am going on vacation. So there's just some things I want to talk to you guys about prior to that. And what else we got here? Gary, Boston team total over 5. Yeah, you would think against Fires. Francisco, so what do you think about Texas Cleveland over? Carrasco's pretty tough, man. I think that one's kind of tough to predict. And Dom with Fires pitches a lot of unders. I went with under 9.5 with the Red Sox. That's a lot of runs, man. Might not be a bad call. And Sema do you like the under on the Seattle game? I would lean towards that just because of the line. Just because the line is weird. Okay. All right. That's it for me, man. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. So for us today, you guys, we got one play on the card. That's it. Major League Baseball. We're going to take the under with Miami and Tampa Bay. Simply a line play. Don't go crazy. For me, it's one unit. And also, I've been really up and down this last week. So, you have to kind of bear with me. Just the way it rolls sometimes. You know how it is. For me, one play, Miami, Tampa Bay, I'm going under. Started out at 8, minus 115. It dropped to 7.5 with Lopez, ERA over 6. Tampa Bay throwing the kitchen sink. They got that reliever starting thing. Both teams are hitting really well. They scored a lot yesterday. I know it was weird with Tampa Bay scoring a lot in the 9th. It's just a weird line movement to me, especially when the public's on the over. So a little bit of a steam play. I don't mind doing that. Sometimes you just got to play the number. And for me, that's the one that stood out today. So that's the one I'm going to take under with Tampa Bay and Miami. We'll see how it rolls out. Maybe they score 15, but I'm going to take the under. And also then we got Minnesota and Phoenix, nothing. It's at 160. I think that's a really, really tough call. So I'm going to go ahead and lay off that, most likely. That's a tough one to predict. So for me, a little lean on the under, but honestly, I think I can go either way. So that's it for me, you guys. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get out of here, but I appreciate you guys coming in. We'll be back tomorrow, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back home. I'm flying back home today, so it'll be nice. It's been a really fun vacation here with the family, but it's time to change the scenery, and I think that's about it. So thanks a lot for coming in, you guys. As always, I appreciate the comments. Sorry I couldn't speak well today, but you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for coming in. And one last time, we got Tampa Bay, Miami, Major League Baseball. We're going to take under the 7.5. That's it for me today, you guys. Best of luck on all your picks. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, take care.